Hey everybody, this is Travis. Today what we're going to do is go through a quick diagnostics and troubleshooting of a 2-cycle engine. Just so happens I have a Ryobi 2-cycle weed whacker here in front of me. This is my neighbor's. Just got it from Friday and he's having problems with it not wanting to start. Up until then it ran fine. Okay, well I got it after about 5-6 pulls. I didn't get nothing out of it. And then I was like, okay, well let's start the diagnostics. First thing I did, went ahead and pulled out the spark plug. I noticed the spark plug, it's running real lean. There's nothing, no deposits, nothing. At the same time, I've noticed that I'm looking, and sometimes it depends, you can see up in the threads of the spark plug whether or not it's been running really hot. This one has been running really hot. It's kind of got me nervous. But just in case, I went ahead and wanted to check for a spark. You can do this one of two ways. You can use the spark plug, ground it out against the case, pull it, see you've got spark. Okay, or you can switch to a little spark tool here, ground it out to the frame. Get on there. There you go. And then what you do is you go ahead and pull again, if it'll cooperate. Little turd. Okay. And then what you do is you go ahead and pull. And you see the spark in there? Well, that tells me we've got spark. So the second thing I went ahead and did was like, okay, I know I've got spark, but I also know that the spark plug was dry. Went ahead, pulled out the compression check, and that's what we did next. Now, when you do this, make sure that if you use these, that you get one that is exactly anywhere from the same from here to here with the threads. Make sure it's pretty much equal. No bigger, no longer, because you can damage the piston and tear the piston apart next thing you know, or your tool. Neither one's a good shot. But when I did do this, I ended up getting about 60 psi after 10 pulls. That's bad. That's on a cold engine, I know, but 60 psi tells me right then and there I've got probably a piston problem. So what I did next is I whipped out my little Borescope kit. Basically a tablet, but then this plugs in there. It's got a little light and a little camera on the inside, and I fed it through the intake. You'll see the video in a little bit, but basically what I did see was the claw marks. It looks like somebody let a cat loose inside the cylinder and on top of the piston. And basically what it is it's where it's gotten so hot, it's gotten so basically destroying itself. And it's from not having the oil in there to help lube it up. So from there I knew exactly what his problem was. Well, then I wanted to know exactly, okay, if that was the problem, what caused the problem? Well, that's when I switched up to doing a fuel sample. A little vial. It's real easy. You can use anything that'll hold gas. I recommend one of these. This is a Briggs & Stratton, but this also has little gauges on there. It'll tell you certain things about the fuel. But what I did is I let this set for 12 hours, and I noticed that there was no fuel separation, there was no water signs, there was nothing. It was all 100% gas. Well, that tells me right then and there that the person probably did not mix it to the 51 required to run this. Basically ran straight gas or very minimal amount of oil to where it worked. So with that, it leads to this. Knowing that that was the problem, I wanted to also double check and see, okay, hey, what did the fuel system, how did it work? Well, I noticed that there was no problems coming through here. I'm not going to get into the teardown of a carburetor due to the fact there's enough videos for that. But what I did do is I wanted to check and make sure that the inline and the return line were both working fairly well. And this is the one that gets filtered. This goes off and just basically spills back into the tank. Also check the bulb, make sure that the bulb is healthy, no cracks, no leaks, nothing out of the ordinary on the outside. But I did take this one apart and see what it looked like on the inside. The inside is spotless. There was no dirt, and inside, right in here, is a screen. It's just a little micro screen. But what it does is it holds all the particulates that can get in here. Plus, if you're running conventional gas and a mix, and it sits for a long period of time, let's say 6 months, you put it away, you're not getting it out, well, it'll also show you that the gas is gelling. because if you're not running a fuel stabilizer, the gas within a short amount of time will basically go bad, and it'll start that. So with that, I knew, okay, this carb system's somewhat okay, nothing out of the ordinary. Then I was like, okay, well, here we go. Top end replacement. To get a replacement of this the piston is where the problem is. The piston comes with the bottom assembly. You can't get the piston separate. You can get the cylinder separate, but you can't get the piston. So you have to basically buy a bottom end of the engine, which comes with the piston for 40 bucks, and the cylinder, which comes with just the cylinder for 30 bucks. So about 75 bucks, maybe a little bit more, and depending on shipping, handling, or what have you, taxes. But you come to the crossroads of, okay, is it cheaper to go ahead and repair it, or would it be cheaper to go ahead and just get a new head? Now, me personally, I like the challenge. I'd like to go ahead and just replace everything and get it back up and running, pass it on down to him. But in this day and age, everybody wants things now. So it could be up to them. They'd probably just go buy a new head, learn from their mistake, and move on. What I'd like to share with you, though, is the one thing for all you newbies. This is a 51 premix. It's synthetic, 100%, no gas in it. What that does is that tells you that you don't have to worry about whether or not you've got the right mixture. It helps you just go ahead and go to the shelf, grab that 50-to-1. I know it's a little expensive. People are, but if you're somebody who does not use the weed whackers, chainsaws, and everything day in, day out, that's a perfect tool for you, because what it does, it lasts up to 2 years. And it keeps everything healthy on the inside. So then when you go ahead and put it away, you can pull it back out, and it starts right up. It doesn't tear anything, doesn't damage anything, doesn't eat up the insides of the carburetor, fuel line, or filter like conventional gas does. Regular gas will go ahead, after a while, will start tearing these lines apart. And then what happens is you'll go to pull and then go, hey, I get it started every once in a while, but then it dies. Well, if you look inside, you'll see the fuel line go down. There's a fuel filter at the end. A lot of times I've gotten them, and what happens is it separates. So then that fuel line and the filter are just flopping around inside. So what I've done is also part of the pre-check that I do is I want to check, make sure that if we did have a fuel problem, that's where I'd go, is check and see if that is. Then you can just go down and get you the kits. They're universal kits, or you can get one specific for your model. And you can go ahead and do it, and it takes probably about 15 to 20 minutes. It just takes a little patience due to the fact that you're using a tool to pull these back inside, or pull them from the inside back out. But I hope this video helps you. I hope it's quick, painless, and everything. All the tools and everything that I use will be on the bottom in the descriptions. I hope you all have a safe day, and I hope that this helps everybody. This is Travis, and I'd like to say thank you for letting me share my time with you. Bye.
One gets that feeling, doesn't it? 15 swordfish headed off on a stormy 300-mile round trip to find the German warship.